It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
I'm at the Schuylkill United Way in Pottsville. Great things happening, as always, with the United Way campaign. This year, the Schuylkill United Way is $1,175,000. And let me tell you, with the it's a 30-member volunteer board, 99 cents of every dollar stays here in Schuylkill County. That's 99 cents of every county. Now, when you look at that amount of money, and you look at all the services that they provide, they could probably use double that amount of money. But we're happy if we could hit our goal at $1,175,000. As you know, I had Gary Perner on from the Hazelton United Way, and of course, great things happening there. There's just so many good things happening in the United Way. Now, on the show, November 15th, incidentally, is the last day. It's the appreciation dinner, and for those of you who want to get your drawings in, noon on November 14th, you want to get them in. However, we play the show after the 15th, so we could always donate. But we have here, I'm a little disturbed with these two guys because, you know, they wanted to do their own show now. You see what it's called? Is it the Mark and Chris show or Chris and Mark show?
Mark and Chris
Mark
show.
And Chris, and poor Chris, you know, he gets second billing even though he's saved. So, but I got to tell you, if you didn't see their shows, it's great on the. I think Mike Joyce put this together with did a great job. I really enjoyed it, you know. But let me ask you a couple of questions, okay? Now, first of all, this is Mark Mikita.
Correct.
Mikita. He's a distribution manager for Wegmans in Great Place, and Chris Denke, who is a newcomer, the Mrs. T's, only 25 years, Vice President of Human Resources, and we were talking about the great things Mrs. T's does. You know, when you're in a position, sometimes people feel, well, yeah, they're doing that because they're told to do that, okay? And why did you get involved with United Way, okay?
Yeah, no, Sam, it's a great question. Truly, being born in Schuylkill County and working here my whole life, I learned a lot about the United Way, and a lot of it obviously through working at Wegmans, and I grew a passion. I mean, it's truly amazing what the Schuylkill United Way does, and its 15 partner agencies. They have limited resources. They might not have the biggest staffs, but they're able to impact the county and the residents and the people that live and work here. The impact they have on the county is truly amazing. And that really grew near and dear to my heart, and it gave me a passion to become a part of the Schuylkill United Way. And this year I'm fortunate to be the 2025 campaign chair for the United Way.
And it's something that you have a passion to do, okay? And the same thing with you, Chris. You know, they say, well, you're working for a big company, and you're told to do that, you know. But you know, tell me why you got involved.
Well, it is part of the mission of our company, and it resonates with a family-owned business starting in a community, and it is our way of giving back. And when you look at the United Way, of all the agencies, of all the connection, that it starts from helping children in need, people who don't have the resources, Meals on Wheels, elderly care. All of these agencies connect with that message of giving back. And every one of our people, whether in some way in their walk of life, has been touched, whether it's American Red Cross, Salvation Army, YMCA, and it resonates with people, and it resonates with our company and our culture being a family business.
Being involved, okay, throughout the years, okay, have you seen, I mean, I could tell many stories of how the United Way has helped people, okay? Many years ago, when I heard about United Way, starting back in 1994 when I started the shows, you know, United Way, it's, you know, but when you start getting more involved and you see what they do and the agencies that are getting help, okay, have you any personal stories that you would share with us where you saw where United Way was, whether the Red Cross or any of your agencies?
Absolutely. We've had associates who've had their houses burned down. American Red Cross were the first ones there for them to give them a place to stay and give them resources to pay for certain things that they need, whether it's medical care or pharmaceutical needs. Also, the Meals on Wheels, and that resonates with us with Mrs. T's Pierogies, of just being able to, there are people who do not have the opportunity to, whether it's elderly who can't make a meal or get the meals and delivering them to them, or that the Salvation Army, where Mark and I went, we were serving lunch and it was packed. And even equally as inspiring were the volunteers. The volunteers who do that work was as equally in this whole process, was just watching them and the passion they have for whether it's child development, big impact, the people who see that connection with United Way resonates.
I'd like to go to these places and show if we could without, exposing anybody, so you actually get to see all those people that are benefiting from it, and then you wonder sometimes, what if you didn't have the funds to help those people? How about your life? Did you experience anything?
Yeah. Let me tell you about something special. Honestly, this year, you talk about visiting the different agencies and different things that they do. This year we did something, it was called the Tour of Hope. And what that was, hope is our annual campaign slogan, helping other people every day. So this year what we did is we did the Tour of Hope, and we were able to visit most of our partner agencies and see what they do. And it was truly, Chris and I went a lot, and members of the United Way staff went. It was truly amazing, just seeing how they impact. And what also is amazing is these programs, the Schuylkill United Way impacts folks from prenatal care through our nurse-family partnership to folks in their elder years, where they're in adult daycares and doing activities. And you just, driving away from each one of these visits, whether it was child development, avenues, Schuylkill YMCA or Schuylkill YMCA's, you just think to yourself, what if that wasn't there? What if that wasn't there? What would happen? And we're working very hard this year to attain the goal, because you see where that funding goes. And last year, I'll be honest, we fell a little bit short, and it was a very difficult meeting, trying to figure out how to get these people the same resources, same services they need, while falling a little short. And we all know, it's a difficult time for a lot of folks, but for me, in all my years, I've been fortunate to be on the board of directors, and being instilled with the values from Wegman's, being able to do that Tour of Hope this year and visit these, it was one of the most impactful experiences in my life.
Well, you're so right, because you get hit with a double whammy as prices go up and families are facing higher prices, and you guys, Wegman, it's always been as fair as possible, along with Boyers and a lot of people that have trying to maintain, but we're getting hit with all these different things, and then you're going out there asking for a donation. But when people could see, the fact that 99 cents of every dollar is going to help people, it's heartwarming. I told a story last year, bear repeating, where this millionaire, never, he was greedy and never thought, multimillionaire. Long story short, he didn't give to anybody, okay? He fell in hard times. Hard times were, and I'm speeding this story up, where he actually had to go to get dinners and et cetera, et cetera. And when I talked to him, and he said, I never realized how greedy I was, and that when I was able to help people, because God blessed me with revenues, I didn't, Thankfully, he was able to come back, not as rich as he was before, but sometimes people are blessed, and, you want to be able to share that, don't you think, Chris?
These agencies don't have all the budgets to market all the things that they do, and that's what's great about the United Way, is they are the glue of these agencies to market, to be a resource when people are truly in need, whether it's pediatric orthopedics, or someone who is going through mental or physical disability, addictions, someone who is coming on to hard times that don't have the resources, or someone who is abused. So these agencies also cater towards making our world a better place, with the Boy Scouts or the YES program with workforce development.
Your comments on that?
Yeah, and when we talk about, you shared a story there. I think when you talk about money in general, it's the reason why. What's the why? And a lot of times is you could show where the funding's going, But you got to build that trust, saying this money is, going towards a good cause. And I think that's really what we tried to do, in general, the Schuylkill United Way, is here's where your dollars are going. A prime example, you joked we were going to steal a little bit of your thunder there, the Mark and Chris show,
Don't let that happen.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give a little plug here.
Okay, go ahead.
We still have it on the website, www.schuylkillunitedway.org.
Guys, go to that. They do a great job. They really do.
Really, we sat down, and again, Mike Joyce from the office, and we got a lot of talking points, and we filmed 11 episodes. And it's not, I know we're joking, but it's truly educational, and it gives you the why.
I watched them.
Where it's going and what's happening with the fund. So, you talk about, again, back to the campaign it's every dollar counts, and it counts on when you're earning it or where it's going. So you want to trust and you want to build a relationship and have a know why. And I really do think it was a great opportunity to get out there and display that to folks.
A great marketing program. Very good. Who decided, who set that up? Mike?
Mike Joyce gets the credit. And you got to have fun.
And
whenever you're promoting anything or trying to get a message out, just like you and your show, you got to make it fun so it's relatable and it's something that we all connect with on a human level.
I got two stories. One story about when you're saying $1, okay, when I used to do motivational speeches, which I loved, okay, because I would feel bad taking money because I enjoyed doing the motivational speaking. But I would talk about it, say, well, what does one person mean? I said, well, if you go into a room and there's 100 people there, shut all the lights off and give everyone a candle. And at the back, start with one candle. One person has a candle. And then give it to the other person. And when all those candles are lit, it's a bright room, which means everybody had a part in that light, okay? And so no matter what they give, it's a part of what you guys are doing in service, okay? Another interesting thing is I think, maybe you don't do this anymore, but let's say a family was helped by Red Cross, and you want to give a $100 donation, but you want to designate that to Red Cross. Can you do that?
Yes. Anytime you're making a contribution, you could designate to a particular agency. You're able to allocate that on our contribution forms. Yes.
Okay, so therefore, because some people, when you're looking at all the agencies, and all these agencies are on their website, my friends, you can look and see what's happening. This is the Schuylkill United Way, and I had Gary Perner on from the Hazelton United Way. They're out there trying to do the best they can and help a lot of people. We come back, we'll talk a little bit more to the Mark and Chris show. It's a great show. You should really go and see it. We'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, all of our neighborhood programming since 1994. Local neighborhood shows on our website, ssptv.com, our YouTube channel. And thank you very much for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. That comes from the scientific poll, Susquehanna Polling and Research. I appreciate that much. 56,000 people are watching this show, the Sam Lesante Show, from Sunday to Saturday, and 50-some thousand people watching the Girls Show, and all of our other shows are #1 in their time slot. We appreciate that very much. Now, I'm here at the Schuylkill United Way. As you know, I did Hazelton United Way with Gary Perna, but I'm here with the two stars of a show called Mark and Chris. So we have Mark Mikita, right? Yeah. And Chris Dende.
Yes.
They should have names like Smith and Brown or something like that, or Joyce, Mike Joyce. But anyway, they did a show, Mark and Chris, and we got to give credit to Becky, okay, who did a lot of editing here, right?
Yeah.
And that show tells a lot about what's happening anyway. But getting back to the member agencies, okay, let's talk about, whomever, about the agencies that you guys are servicing. We'll start with you.
Yeah, so we do service 15 agencies through the United Way. They're all listed here. We do have some nice, quick little handouts. But yeah, I mean, ultimately what the goal is, we create this funding, we create the contributions, and then we give allocations to these agencies. And I'll be honest, maybe some folks, some of the agencies, and not all of them, might be eligible for grants and things, but what's special about what comes from the United Way, they truly are able to allocate those funds to where it's needed. Yes. Okay, so you talk about Meals on Wheels, SARC, and the YES program, Tamaqua Adult Daycare. We have Schuylkill County Society for Crippled Children, Avenues, the Schuylkill YMCA, Child Development, Hope Center, Schuylkill Wellness Services, Big Impact Group, Nurse Family Partnership, the Salvation Army Pottsville Corps, and the Boy Scouts of America are our 15 partner agencies here. So they truly benefit from
So
this.
Chris, when I started, I says, even though it's 1,175,000, when you look at all these agencies, I mean, you could have like twice the amount of money and service all these people, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the great thing about this United Way in this county is they help each other too. These agencies, whether it's with child development or new moms who need help, these agencies have a connection with each other, and I think that resonates as with our United Way headquarters of having a place, and if they don't know where to go and have a resource and say, hey, I can direct you here or here if there's that need, because it doesn't, people don't know sometimes those resources, and those dollars, it just doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from campaigns like this.
Yeah, there's so many, you know, I'd love to have, I'm a believer in testimonials. When you're talking to a person like this guy who is now a strong supporter, who's a millionaire, then was greedy, never wanted to give anything to help any people, and he needed it. And there were people to help him. But there's so many stories out there, my friends, that, you know, this money goes distributed. But let's talk about this money. 99% of everything you contribute stays right here in Schuylkill County. It says they're not a division of the chapter of United Way, but a separate profit entity, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what does that mean?
So really, like state, you know, we do have the United Way name, but I think as our executive director, Kelly Malone, has said, if you saw one United Way, you've seen one United Way. They all do their thing a little bit different. So it truly, you know, we're able to do different things. And in this Schuylkill United Way, able to support the 15 agencies, as well as we have other programs that we help support the community.
And it's also good, you mentioned about each individual agency also goes out and gets grants, which they actually need. So let's talk about November 15th when we have the breakfast. What's going on that day?
Well, that's the big day where we're going to be celebrating the goals, but we also have some amazing prizes. We give away a Volkswagen Taos S, and then again, I want to give a shout out to all the local dealerships that combine their gifting, and it's a $28,000 value. That's the grand prize, and we have about 10 other prizes ranging from $2,000 down to $500 for anyone who puts in their donation.
Okay.
And if you give as a pace setter, we'll call it, that's a $500, you get 4 chances to get into that drawing.
So what if someone wants to give you $100?
Someone wants to give us
$100. Did they get a chance?
They'll get a chance to put their name in the hat and win the.
And you also have pledges, right? I mean, the pledges.
Yes.
If someone wants to pledge $50 a month or $25 a month, they can do that. Correct?
In our companies, both Mark and Chris show the companies that we do payroll deductions.
Yes.
So there's no cash or no.
Which is great.
It's just every week $10, $5, $2, $1. And whatever that denomination is, we do it as a payroll.
So someone's out there and they're, you know, they want to help. I mean, God's been good to them. They've been blessed, and they like to make a donation. What should they do? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think the best course of action is go to www.schuylkillunitedway.org. All the information is there, and there's an opportunity for you to donate.
Donate.
And if
You take credit cards and stuff like that?
We'll take anything.
Okay, good.
No, we'll take anything. And you know, you brought up something right now. We're right in the heart of our workplace campaign season, so that's where a lot of our dollars does come
Sure.
from. 65% of the funding does come from workplace campaigns, and that's through payroll deductions. And it could be as simple as $1 a week.
You'd be surprised. There's, like I said, God's blessed a lot of people, okay, and they've been very fortunate, particularly with these trying times that we have. And here we are at United Way with all these agencies that help so many thousands of people, and saying, why can't I give them $100 or $50 or $25? And every bit helps. If you have 100 people, they give $25. That's $2,500. You know, with Don't you think the same way to a degree?
And it is, and that goes back to the company and going back to the company campaigns. A lot of our local companies, and what we've seen in Schuylkill County is a lot of growth.
Yeah.
And the companies that do these campaigns, they'll match the dollars or a percentage of the dollars, and that becomes part of their culture of making sure that we send. And there's a messaging to go and communicate to our employees about the good work that's happening, and we make that part of our culture as part of our, this is who we are, and when we're in a community, we're part of our culture is giving back and pay it forward.
I tell you what, I just would encourage anyone, if you could help them out. Believe me, they do a lot of good. So when is this Mark and Chris show going to end?
Well, we've filmed all our episodes, so right now they're all available online at the website. So we're finished filming the live ones, so you always could view them online now.
So you really have to take a look at it. They do a wonderful job, and I want to congratulate the both of you and congratulate Becky and the whole staff here at Schuylkill United Way. They're just out to do good, and it's great that your companies support you, Mrs. T's, Wegmans. We support you in the endeavor. I'm available to you. Mike Joyce knows how to get me, no problem. And we worked very well with him in the past, and we continue to like to do that. Anything in closing you'd like to say, Chris?
I'd say something with the United Way. The greatest legacy in life is to make others around you better, and I think this campaign makes us all better because of the awareness, the giving, and receiving. We get as much back from knowing that it's going for a good place.
You, my friend?
And in close, I just want to say thank you, and to echo Chris's sentiment, it feels good to help people, and this is a great way to do it.
Well, hopefully, folks, you learned something. Just go to their website. All the information's there. And once again, thank you for tuning us in. We're on every day at Comcast 190 here in the greater Pottsville area, Comcast 190 from 7 to 11 p.m. every day. Of course, SSP TV, which covers from Mountaintop down in Sinclair, every day, 24/7 on Channel 13 and 513, and of course the Wilkes-Barre channel over the weekends from 7 to 11 p.m. We'll see you next time.